Dear students, welcome to the online class, and today we are going to learn about the method of polymerization. So based on the method of formation, polymers are further classified into homogeneous polymerization and heterogeneous polymerization. Homogeneous polymerization involves the reaction mixture are in the same phase, whereas heterogeneous means the reaction consists of more than one phase. Homogeneous polymerization is further subdivided into bulk polymerization and solution polymerization, whereas heterogeneous polymerization is categorized into suspension polymerization and emulsion polymerization. And in this class we are going to discuss about the homogeneous polymerization. Now we are going to study about bulk polymerization. So in the diagram you see a beaker along with the glass rod and a measuring jar pouring a liquid into the beaker. So the measuring jar contains the monomer which is poured into the beaker, and the glass rod is used to stir the monomer. So after some time the monomer is formed into a pink color mass, and finally after the completion of the reaction, that is after completion of the polymerization, we get a solid product like shown in the picture. So this bulk polymerization is a very simple method. Just the monomer is mixed to get a polymer. As we have seen in the previous slide, the monomer should be taken in the liquid form. The next important chemical species added into the monomer is the initiator. The initiator is a chemical component that starts the polymerization reaction. Without the initiator, the polymerization reaction could not occur. The next chemical component that is added into the reaction mixture is chain transfer agent. It is not necessary to add the chain transfer agent in every polymerization reaction, but sometimes it needs to be added. So the role of the chain transfer agent is to facilitate the chain transfer reaction. The initiator and the chain transfer agent are dissolved in the monomer. As a whole, the monomer, initiator and the chain transfer agent exist in the same phase, so it is termed as a homogeneous polymerization. The reaction mixture is then heated, or it can be exposed to any radiation for the polymerization to occur. In this diagram I have shown that the monomer in a green dot and the polymerization starter, that is the initiator, in a pink dot. So when these two components are mixed together, polymerization occur to give a polymer. Such type of polymerization is known as bulk polymerization. In this animation you can see a beaker along with the agitator, and the monomer in the form of a liquid is poured into this beaker, and the agitator agitates this monomer. The initiator, that is the red color ball, is again poured into this beaker, which can initiate this polymerization reaction. Now you can see one of the initiator adds with one monomer, and after this next monomers are further added to another monomers to form a monomer chain growth, a polymer chain growth. So after this the two initiators combine to give a big polymer chain. This is how this polymerization occurs, which is known as bulk polymerization. So we can represent this as a scheme: the monomer in the liquid state along with the initiator and chain transfer agent to get the polymer. Now we are going to see about the advantages of bulk polymerization. The bulk polymerization is very simple because we have to just mix up the monomer and the initiator, and the product obtained is 100% pure because there is no unnecessary chemicals are added in this bulk polymerization, only the monomer along with the initiator is added. The examples of bulk polymerization involves polystyrene, polyvinyl chloride and polymethyl methacrylate. And the third advantage is the product that is obtained from this polymerization can be used directly. Some of the disadvantages of this bulk polymerization are high viscosity. In this polymerization, we just need the monomer and the initiator. So after the polymerization reaction starts, the medium becomes highly viscous and hence the agitation, that is the stirring, becomes more difficult. So these are the two important disadvantages. And the final disadvantage is auto acceleration. So auto acceleration can also occur sometimes because of the highly exothermic nature of this polymerization. So in this slide we are going to see about auto acceleration, and auto acceleration can also be termed as gel effect. So it is due to the localized increase in the viscosity of the polymerizing system that slows the termination reaction. So I'll explain this with the diagram. Here you see two threads which represents a growing polymer chain, and in one end of the threads there is a bead like structure attached to the one end of the thread, and which is the active site of the growing polymer chain, that is the initiator. The polymer chain or the polymerization reaction comes to an end only when the two bead like structures or the two active sites collide with each other, that is represented in the second diagram. So when the two active sites collide with one another, the polymer chain becomes dead, that is the polymerization comes to an end, which is known as the termination step. Suppose if the two active centers did not collide with each other, then the polymerization reaction goes on without the termination reaction, and the polymer chain will be so long. And what happens is, every time the polymer chain is increasing, as I have said earlier, the reaction is highly exothermic. So without the termination, sometimes the reaction may blast. So this kind of reaction is known as auto acceleration. And now we are going to see the application part of the bulk polymerization, and is used for ethylene, styrene, methyl methacrylate to get the molding powders, and it can be used in PVC sheets. And now we are going to discuss about the solution polymerization. In this polymerization reaction, a suitable inert solvent should be taken. The inert solvent means it should not react with the monomer, but the monomer should be dissolved in that solvent. The initiator also dissolved in the solvent. If we take a chain transfer agent, then it should also be dissolved in that solvent. So if we mix all the three components, polymerization occurs and a polymer is formed. So once the polymer is formed, it is also dissolved in that solvent. So we have to remove the polymer, and the polymer can be removed in two ways. Number one is evaporation. By evaporating the inert solvent, we can get the polymer, or we can precipitate the polymer from a non-solvent. So in this diagram, once again I have shown that the monomer is shown in a green dot, and the initiator, that is the polymerization starter, in a pink dot, and the inert solvent is represented in a yellow shade. So after mixing the components, polymerization occurs and the polymers are formed, and the polymers are formed in the inert solvent, which is shown in a green color thread like structure. So in this animation I am going to show you about the solution polymerization. Now you can see the monomer is added into the beaker which contains an agitator. The initiator which is also added, it's in the form of a blue color dot. So now after agitation, one of the initiator is going to add with the monomer which initiates the polymerization reaction. Now you can see one by one the monomer is added into the another monomer to form a polymer chain. So once all the polymer is formed, the reaction is completed. So after completion of the reaction, the polymer is dissolved in the solvent. So we have to add a non-solvent to precipitate out the polymer. Now you can see the polymer gets precipitated, and this product, the polymer, can be removed easily. So in this animation you can see how the polymer is removed. Now we look into the advantages of this polymerization. Stirring is easy because we are using a solvent and the solution becomes less viscous, and the reaction is not much exothermic because of the presence of solvent. Heat transfer is easier. The product obtained is in the liquid form, and sometimes it can be used directly for the application such as adhesives, and the polymer can be removed by the method of evaporation or by precipitation. Though this polymerization has some advantages, there are also some disadvantages. The first one is the polymerization rate is very slow, and the complete removal of solvent is very difficult, and the polymer obtained is impure because we are adding an external solvent here, and the obtained polymers the polymers that can be formed is of less molecular weight. Now we come to the application part. It can be used as a fiber, adhesives, paints, and then it is used in the industrial production of polyacrylonitrile by using free radical polymerization, and used in the production of polyisobutylene by cationic polymerization. Students, I hope that in this video you can understand about the homogeneous polymerization. In the next video, I will discuss about heterogeneous polymerization techniques. Thank you.